So I just finished reading the article on bridging the research gap, which I found very interesting. I think because I have seen the same thing when I was student teaching, that oftentimes it seems like our teachers or our practitioners are sort of set in their ways, and they feel like they've been doing this for a long time and they know what they should be doing and how they should be doing it, and often question how research or research articles would help them in their everyday life. So I also thought that where we have been in the university and we're seeing different ways of going about doing things and learning things and educating, that sometimes it's hard for the teachers that are already out there to be accepting of the things that are coming out and are new and a little bit different. I think they find them interesting, but maybe not fully understand how to use them appropriately in an education situation. I found it interesting also that Good in 1989 had put out the realization that research is intended to broaden a perspective, where teachers wanted to narrow their perception of how to do things in education, when in reality research is put out there as a broad idea, and it's our job as teachers to narrow it down and sort of digest and make it into our own. So it does seem like there's definitely a gap. The different ways that they suggested to bridge the gap were also very interesting. To fix the researcher, which I thought was funny. They wanted to fix something one way or the other. To fix the research so that it was easier for the teachers to understand, to fix the practitioner, to have them be more accepting of research that was out there. One thing I find difficult, having just stepped out of a student teaching situation, where on earth would a teacher find the time to read research articles, digest them, find them interesting, useful, practical, significant, and then put them into daily use? I totally see where that is a huge gap. I like the way that they said that there could be a research translator. Maybe not realistic in the fact that they said, sort of who's going to pay for that? Who's going to be that person to go out there? So while it's a great idea, maybe the realistic aspect of it isn't quite there yet. The translation of putting it in a video, I think that is a neat way to do it as well, because a lot of times people can sit down and watch a video as opposed to trying to read it, figure it out, like I said, digest it and throw it out there and make it work in an everyday situation. So a good idea. I also believe that this gap does not only happen in education. There are plenty of other professions where there's that gap between people who do the research and those that think that the ones that do the research probably don't know what they're talking about because they're not in the trenches, so to speak. They're not the ones out there doing it, learning it, feeling it. And I do believe that in any type of learning situation, you need the education, you need the research, you need some comprehension, and you also need field experience. So I can understand that as well, that there's definitely that gap there where there's no understanding of the two different ways. Do I feel like there is a way to bridge the gap? I feel honestly as though those of us that are coming out of school, it's sort of our job to put these things into place that we've learned in school. We are learning how to research. We are reading different types of educational action research, and help be the advocates to put those things into place. So while hopefully that's more realistic than putting out there a research translator, it's up in the air. Who knows how it's going to work out? But I feel like There's definitely that gap that needs to be addressed, and hopefully one day we will find an effective way to do that.